Okay, so for this lesson, instead of having a worksheet, the video is actually going to be our lesson. All right, so what have we covered so far with algebra? Well, the first thing we covered is what a pronumeral is, right? So a pronumeral is just the name we give to an unknown number. Let's say we've got this value, and again, I don't know what the value is. Well, we need to write down something, so we normally just use a letter. It just makes it easier. So instead of writing unknown number every time, we could just write the letter X, or, any of the other, letters in the alphabet. We use letters to represent unknown numbers. So that was the first thing we covered. The second thing we covered was learning how to simplify these basic expressions. So let's say we've got this number whose value we don't know. Let's call it y. And we add another one on. So in this case, if you looked at this question and we tried to simplify it, we can see we have we have two lots of y. Or in this case, we have two lots of x and two lots of y. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment. This lesson, we're going to take the difficulty up just slightly. So let's clear this on out, and I'll show you what our new questions are going to look like. So we're going to be having questions like, let's say we have 4 lots of k plus 5 lots of k. All right, so when simplifying an expression like this, we can see we've got 4 lots of k plus another 5 lots of k. You have in total 9 lots of k. That is the answer. Pretty simple, right? All right, let's look at another one. Let's say we have 24 lots of A, take away 3 lots of A. So we started with 24 lots of A, right? Imagine there's a whole stack of A's. There's 24 of them. And we're taking away 3 of them, right? So just get rid of 3 of them. How many A's do you have left? Well, 24 take away 3. You're left with 21 lots of A. So taking away is pretty easy as well. In actual fact, everything we're going to do in this lesson will be pretty easy. The hardest type of question you could possibly get is one where there are multiple different ones. Let's say you have 10 lots of P plus another 3 lots of P plus another 7 lots of Q. So in this case, well, how many P's do we have in total? 10 lots of P plus another 3 lots of P. We have in total 13 lots of P. And that's not it. We also have, there it is, 7 lots of Q. And that there is the final answer. I know some people would try and take this expression here and add the 13 and the 7, and they'd write 20pq. But as has been discussed in the previous video, there wasn't any pq's, let alone 20 of them. There was 10 lots of p plus another 3 lots of p, gave us a total of 13 lots of p, and then there was just 7 lots of q. That's it, and that's where you would leave your final answer. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a couple questions to do right now. So I'm going to turn over onto a new page. So I'll write up the questions. I'll get you guys to pause the video once I write them up, and have a go at answering all of these questions yourselves. So here it is. These are questions for you to do right now yourself. And I'll give you 2 more let's have 10 lots of A minus 3 lots of A. And your final question will be 3 lots of B plus 2 lots of C plus another 4 lots of B. Okay, so can everyone please pause the video now, have a go at answering these questions, just try your best on all of them, and once you're finished, I'll get you to unpause the video so we can go through the answers. All right, so hopefully everyone's had a chance to actually have a go at these themselves. So the first one, you had 3 lots of A plus 7 lots of A. You should have ended up with 10 lots of A. 4p plus 2p. 6p was your final answer for this one. Okay, this next one is a little bit tricky. You had 3 lots of M plus another M, right? There's 3 lots of M. You add another one on, you ended up with 4 lots of M. Some people like to think of like an invisible one there in front. If you just got an M by itself, it means you have 1 lot of M there. So that was your answer for that one. This one here, okay, we had a takeaway, right? So if you wrote 13A here, you obviously weren't looking carefully. It was definitely a minus on this occasion. Still easy to fix. 10 lots of A, take away 3 lots of A. You should have had 7A. And for the final one, you had 3 lots of B. Were there any other B's? Yes, there was over here. Another 4 of them were added on, right? So you ended up with, hopefully, you had 7 lots of B. And then here you had 2 lots of C just sitting there, right there in the middle. All right, so I'll give you one more final set of questions. Let's see how we go with this next lot. Okay, so I'll try and make these ones a little bit harder. Here we have 10 lots of X plus 2 lots of Y plus another 4 lots of X. The next one will be 7 lots of A. All right, yep, good night. Plus 2 lots of B, plus another 3 lots of A, plus another B. And for your final question, let's have 21 lots of P. Let's have plus 2 lots of Q. And then we're going to take away 10 lots of P, and we're going to add another Q. Okay, so just like last time, I'll get you to pause the video now and just try your best. Write down what you think the answer will be for each one, and then unpause it and we'll go through the answers together and see how many you got right. All right, so for this first one, we had 10 lots of X. Were there any other X's? Yes, you could see over here we were adding another 4 lots of X on. So 10 plus 4, we had 14 lots of X in total. And in the middle here you can see we had 2 lots of Y. Are there any other Y's? No, there isn't. So we're just left with the 2 lots of Y as well. So the second question. All right, so let's have a look at the A's first. Okay, so we've got 7 lots of A. That's awesome. Are there any other A's, or were we just stuck with the 7? Here we can see we were adding on another 3 of them. So you started with 7. We added another 3. You should have had 10 lots of A. And then let's move on to the B's. You got 2 lots of B here, plus another B. You had 2 of them. You end up adding another one on. You should have ended up with 3 lots of B as your answer for that one. And final question. Oh, there's a minus there in the middle. Okay, so we had 21 lots of P. Are there any other P's in this expression? Yeah, over here in the middle we can see that we are taking away 10 of them. So we started with 21. We're taking away 10 of them. That's going to leave you with 11 lots of P. And then here we had 2 lots of Q plus another Q, 3 lots of Q. And there are your answers for the final ones. All right, I hope everyone learned a little bit and it made a lot of sense. If you need to rewatch the video, you can. Make sure you check the Canvas weekly, or daily, I should say, because there are going to be some more worksheets coming up this week. All right, thank you and goodbye.